So, look, I probably was going to make this video for Friday, but after the whole Tommy Turbo injury saga, I decided that I had to put it off. But here we go, the dust has settled from another round of rugby league, but all anyone is talking about is the New South Wales Blues. Now, I've already made my feelings a bit clear on Freddy and what I think of his philosophy, and his plan has been for New South Wales, and I said, even when I made that video 10 days ago, or 2 weeks ago now, that I said Brad Fittler is the problem. I still probably would have given him one more year as the Blues head coach, considering we just have no one there who's ready to take over. But unfortunately, after that Game 2 loss, I think it's time the New South Wales Blues blow it up and we have to move on. It's officially over, the Freddy Fittler era, in my opinion. He still gets Game 3. He's still our best ever New South Wales player in the Origin arena, so we probably have to show him that respect. I'd give him Game 3 personally, but after that, it's time to blow it up. Now, we could sit here and talk about the problems, but everyone's done that. I'm going to try and find some solutions. So what's next for New South Wales, ladies and gentlemen? As always, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any content coming up for the remainder of 2023. We've still got one more Origin game, and then it's time for finals footy. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think will be the Blues' next head coach? Who do you think will be the biggest change for New South Wales going into Game 3 and 2024 and beyond? So who is going to be the next coach? And honestly, I think that's the biggest problem. Like, we all want Freddy to move on, and I think it's pretty clear Freddy kind of has to move on. Like I said, he's had no plan going into what he's been trying to build here. In 2018, he made that decision to debut, 10, 11 players in Game 1, and then we went on to win that 2018 series. And then in Game 2 of 2019, he made all those changes, including dropping the likes of Latrell Mitchell, and then we went out, smashed him in Perth, won Game 3, and it was like, this is the man. Freddy, he is the man to take us into the future. Unfortunately, since that 2019 decider, we've won 1 out of 4 series, and in every single series, despite Game 2, Queensland were favourites, we have been on paper the better side in every single game. That's why we've been favourites. So to come away from this 3 from 6, it's been very disappointing, especially the last 2 years. I mean, 2020, that was all time, but the past 2 years has just been more disappointing than anything. So we all wanted to see Freddy succeed. It's obvious he hasn't. I mean, he came out in the press conference when he picked Mitchell Moses, who no one was even talking about for an Origin jersey a month ago, and said he was the next man in. Even though Nico Hines has been in the squad, in the camp for 7 camps? And then we even had Chad Townsend over Mitchell Moses in the squad Game 2 of 2022 when Jack White got COVID. So, yeah, I think that just epitomises why Freddy has to go. The biggest thing I have as well is that I think James Tedesco needs to be stripped of the captaincy. In my opinion, James Tedesco is the best ever New South Wales Blues fullback, but he can sit at the Roosters. We've only won the 1 series, and unfortunately, since he was named captain of the Roosters, they've also been struggling. So I don't really want to blame one player. James Tedesco tries his heart out, but it is hard to see how a captain can be, the focal point of a team, the inspirational leader, because they're not in the front line. And it showed in Game 1 especially. James Tedesco, he wanted his hands on the footy the most, but unfortunately, his stats were good. But when you compare him to Reece Walsh, who was just receiving good footy off the likes of DCE and Cameron Munster, it's one style of player is going to get you a bunch of stats, but the other, no one's spot is safe. Probably outside of Cleary, who I want to talk to in a minute. I know a lot of people are questioning him over Origin, but outside of probably Cleary and guys like your Liam Martin, your Jake Trbojevic, your Cameron Murrays, who are going to be guaranteed to play good footy until next series, I don't think anyone's spot is safe. I think Tedesco, Luai, Yo, the Fox, maybe you keep To'o, he can throw him into the safe mold, but look, let's just face it. Everyone is in the chopping block. Maybe this is the way New South Wales just are. We've tried to copy Queensland. We did it with the 2-hooker thing, something as simple as that. And we try and copy it with the loyalty thing. But back to my Game 2 2019 point, maybe that's just not how New South Wales are. Now, look, I do think Freddy took it to the extreme. Look at guys like Stefano, Katoni Staggs, the way he dropped David Clemmer. it's clear that there is a line. There's a difference between what Billy Slater does to guys like Gagai and Ponga compared to the way that Freddy just drops guys. Like, how many people have played one game under Brad Fittler? Nick Kotrick, Tony Staggs, like I mentioned. Hopefully Stefano gets another go. There's no guarantee he'll get another go. You look at the way Billy backs his boys in, and it's great to see. It sucks as a New South Wales fan, but as a Queensland, I can tell why these guys are so proud. These absolute bastards. They beat us 8 in a row, and now they've come back in the coaching staff, and they're tearing us a new one once again. They've ruined my childhood, and now they're about to ruin my 20s. So thank you, Billy. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, JT. Thank you, boys, for just being an absolute pest. Can't you just sit on Channel 9? But look, there's been no plan. It's time to go into a different direction. Who replaces Freddy? That's the big question everyone is talking about. And look, I don't have a solution. I love the sound of Ricky Stewart, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's possible. I think it's a full-time gig now in the sense of a club coach cannot do it. Look, he does have Madge there who can take over for him, but honestly, I just don't think Ricky wants to leave the Raiders. He lives and bleeds green. I'm sure he loves the blue, but that man loves the ACT. Maybe we do go Madge, you know? I do like the fact of just getting someone who's really passionate and just an absolute maniac in there. I mean, he's been great for the New Zealand Kiwis. The Kiwis in that World Cup. If they didn't have to play Australia in the semi-final, look, they were easily the second best team at that World Cup. There's no doubt about it. I know it's probably their best ever period in terms of the 1-17 they can put out there, the Kiwis. But Madge, he's been great in the representative arena. Imagine giving him the tools of guys like Cleary, Jake Trbojevic, Tommy Turbo, Latrell Mitchell. So Madge is another shout. Obviously, you got Jamie Soward. He's been doing great in the NRLW as well. He's a guy who I think is smart enough to get the role. And I think only playing 3 games, taking a lot of that week-to-week pressure off of him, that could do wonders. Look, Billy did no coaching besides just helping out the Melbourne Storm. So, you know, maybe we just don't have to look at a coach. I think the Morris brothers have put their hand up. Talk about guys who are passionate about the jersey. Now, look, they are a part of the Roosters system. I think Brett is at the moment, and they're really struggling. But for us in that 8 in a row era, Brett and Josh Morris were just 2 unsung heroes. They were absolutely outstanding. I'll make a video on it in the future, but Josh Morris, you can probably guess it. But that's my favourite Origin moment of all time. But my pick, and look, maybe it's mainly biased, but I'll be going Jeff Tuvey. I don't know why he's never got another coaching gig since. He's done a bunch of work with the New South Wales Rugby League Juniors. He did stuff with the women's Origin team last year, and obviously they got the win. So I'd be going Tuvey. I mean, he took us to a grand final and all top 4 appearances. The year he got sacked, he still ran 9th with one of the worst injury tolls in the competition at the end of Manly's golden era there in the late to early 2010. So I'd be going Jeff Tuvey, a guy who's just really passionate about the jersey. You listen to him and the way he speaks about it, it's so good, man. And yeah, I'd be going in a different direction with the coach. I'd be going with Jeff Tuvey. And captaincy, I know he's struggled in Origin and he's had some great moments, but it's been clear to us for the past few years that at least at club level, Nathan Cleary is the man and the best player in the world. I think we don't build this Blues team around it because I do think that this idea of the Penrith core needs to go. So yeah, I'd be giving the captaincy to Nathan Cleary, or maybe just like a Jake Trbojevic, an inspirational leader. But get the captaincy off Tedesco and let it be Cleary's team. In game 1, it felt like it was Tedesco's team, and Cleary was just trying to give good ball to Tedesco. And at Penrith, at least, it's all Nathan Cleary footy. So I'd love to see Cleary get that captaincy and just be the man. But like I said, maybe it's got Jake or Cameron Murray. But Nathan Cleary, it's his team now. He's the one who can take us into a new direction. Despite what people have said about him in Origin level, he's the man, I think, to take us into a new direction. He's had a lot of games there now, but hopefully in 2024 he can stand up and own the State of Origin arena. So, just off the top of the head, some other changes I would make. I'd like to see how next year goes, but I really do think that James Tedesco, it's not a foregone conclusion that it's his jersey now. I think he gets game 3 and he gets the captaincy if he decides to retire from Origin or his form improves. Begin maybe Pappenhausen if he comes back firing like he did early last year. Maybe you even go Latrell Mitchell, but I still think Latrell's the lock in the centres for this side. I see a guy like Toto staying. look, like I said, there's no one who's really got a mortgage on the jersey. If Tommy Turbo decides that he wants to play Origin, if he doesn't retire from rep football, even though I think he will, then I think that he deserves to have his jersey locked in. Like I said, though, I think Tommy needs to have a bit more prerequisites. He had a great game against Canberra, but I feel like if Campbell Graham is playing as good as he is next year, and Tommy's, starting the season a bit slow, then I think that Campbell Graham gets that jersey. I think outside of Cleary and you guys like Jake, Murray, Martin, I feel like we just need to blow it up, essentially. And I don't mean like, we kind of pick these players again, because look, maybe next year they just are the best players and we have to pick them. But, stop with these bolters, guys like Frizzell. I mean, you've dropped in the past few series, but then you want to be loyal to him, even though he has not been in great form. And you guys got guys like Ola Kawatu, who should have been in the squad since game one. So look, I'd be going 2V personally if you can't get Ricky Stewart, but any of those guys I mentioned would probably just be a better fit for Freddy. You only have to sign them on a 2-year contract, and then maybe we get a Bellamy after that, or maybe Madge takes over at the Raiders. So I just think it's time to go into a different direction. I think Bedsy, a lot of people are saying him, but I just want whoever's working with Freddy to just sort of be gone at this point. I think that Brandy is a great commentator, but I just don't know whether he's the right guy to be an advisor. Bedsy, everyone in the coaching staff at the moment, and look, they gave us one of the best series wins of all time in 2021, but you got to move on at some point, and I would have given them another year, but that Game 2 result was really, really embarrassing. So, look, those are my thoughts. What's next for New South Wales? To answer the question, I'd be going Jeff Tuvey as the coach, and I'd be giving the captaincy to Nathan Cleary, and maybe going a co-captain role with him and like a Jake Trbojevic or a Cameron Murray. But those are my thoughts for New South Wales. I could have gone deeper, but I feel like everyone sort of knows my feelings already. I'll make a team list for Game 3 in a minute, because I do have some thoughts around that, and I didn't want to spoil that in this video because there's some money and some views to be absolutely milked. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts down below. What's next for New South Wales? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any footy content coming your way, and I'll see you in the next one.